Welcome to TMZ Live. There was a terrible thing that happened in Malibu this morning around 6 a.m. David Charvet from the original Baywatch was driving his pickup truck in a very fancy gated community where he lives in Malibu, and he struck and killed a neighbor's dog. And there was, for a time, a question on whether this was hit and run.
Well, to the neighbor, she felt that it was hit and run. We spoke to her about this horrible incident that happened this morning as she was walking her 3 dogs. And her experience and what she told us happened is that after David hit the dog, that he continued driving and left, as far as she was concerned, left the scene.
Got outside the gate and then apparently called the police.
Right. So what we've since learned is that David did call the police, and that may make a big difference here. And it certainly seems like it is for the police that it is making a difference.
Well, it's the LA County Sheriff, and they said that they are not viewing this as hit and run. In terms of the dog, why don't we first address the hit and run thing? That the way the law is written is that if you are involved in an accident that causes death, injury, or property damage, and under the law, dogs are considered property, that you have to immediately stop. And that, it's sort of like a bank robbery. A bank robber can, steal money from a bank and drive 5 miles, but even if he comes back to return it, it's still a bank robbery. So if you don't stop immediately and you leave, according to the letter of the law, it's hit and run. But the way that this has been interpreted by law enforcement is you have to look just reasonably at the situation.
And I think what also made a big difference to the sheriff's department is that not only did he call, but when they arrived on the scene, David was still there and did actually speak with deputies. The woman, though, was not there because she went to take the dog.
That is correct.
To a vet.
We've learned that the dog named Sunday, like the 7th day of the week, a 11-year-old lab, unfortunately did die, had to be euthanized after she was hit.
So they rushed it to a nearby vet?
They rushed the dog to a nearby vet, and we were told immediately after that the owners would be filing a report because in their mind, it was a hit and run. Why is that? Because he left the gated community before he called authorities. Yes, he called authorities, but the dog was still laying in the street when he drove away. He told authorities that he tried to swerve to hit the dog and that the dog...
To avoid the dog.
To avoid the dog. To swerve to avoid the dog, pardon me. And that at the time, the dog had been let off the leash. We were told by the owner she was walking 3 dogs at the time who were on a leash.
So that is going to make a big difference here also, right?
It makes a big difference in terms of any civil liability. 2 things about it. One is that there is a leash law. Even though it's in a gated community, if you're basically, if you're in a public area, accessible to everybody, like a street, you have to have a dog on a leash that's 6 feet or less and and keep that dog under your control. If you don't have it on a leash, you violate the leash law. And if you violate the leash law, you're pretty much excluded from any, civil remedy where you could sue. But even if she could sue, and this is kind of something that has always kind of gotten my goat, that dogs are considered like a couch, a property. And when you have to measure the value of the loss, in this case, what you're doing is looking at the market value of an 11-year-old dog, which is nothing, right? In terms of money.
In terms of money, right.
It's just nothing. In terms of family,
right,
it's a whole other thing.
But you can't get compensated for that.
You can't get compensated for it. And the big thing that's happening in a lot of states is that there are some states that are allowing people to sue for pain and suffering when somebody injures or kills an animal, which is a family pet, that they can sue for their pain and suffering. There are even laws about the animal's pain and suffering that people are considering. So it's an area that's kind of being debated in various state legislatures, but it's not the case everywhere. So
the bottom line here is that there's not going to be no criminal action here.
I don't think there's any civil action.
And there's not going to be civil either.
Because the dog was off the leash.
Right now, the family, we're told, is absolutely devastated, but our law enforcement sources tell us right now it's a traffic collision report, and it appears just to be a tragic accident.
Yeah, I mean, again, if he swerved to get, to
try and avoid
the dog, that's what you do. But it's a really sad situation.
Very sad.
Nazir, Charlotte, I think it's very unfortunate that the family lost their dog in such a tragic way. And I'm also glad to know that David actually did call the police, and now learning that he stayed close to the scene after the incidents. So a lot of the times when people have hit and runs, and I know we're not necessarily deeming this as one of those, we don't see them stay around for fear of consequences. So I'm glad to hear that that necessarily isn't the case. Again, still tragic, losing a pet of any kind. But it doesn't sound like there's anything nefarious here at all, really.
Yeah.
A very hot day in D.C. for RFK Jr., in particular because the Secretary of Health and Human Services is on Capitol Hill, where he is facing a round of questions from Congress, members of Congress, over all sorts of issues having to do with his department. There is another issue that that a lot of people are talking about. And maybe he didn't think this was going to come up, certainly not with Congress, but...
Well, don't say certainly not with Congress.
Okay, I know you think that Congress will bring it up. I'm sure you've heard the story about RFK Jr. and the raccoon, and the roadkill raccoon and the raccoon's penis.
That Lorena Bobbitt.
Yes, many, many years ago, long time ago. But this story has come out in a journalist's memoir about their coverage of RFK Jr. So he's on his way into Capitol Hill this morning, and yes, TMZ DC is
hot on the case.
On the case, and we got a lot of stuff in DC today. This one was very early on his way in.
A man of few words, but still kind of tells the story.
There's a lot you see here.
Secretary, what did you do with the raccoon's dead penis? Where is it now?
That laugh, there was so much in that laugh that was sort of like, if you only knew.
Or it's sort of, if you only knew, are you really asking? It's got everything.
The laugh is super telling. It's not the first time he's shown his curiosities with animals, dead animals. He did this with the bear in Central Park and the dead whale carcass. You know, raccoon penises are kind of interesting. They're sold on Amazon. I did some research on this as a Texas toothpick.
No, hold on a second.
There are.
I'm not going to let you just get away with saying, oh, raccoon penises are actually kind of interesting. I know you're a big trivia guy, but this is taking it too far.
It
actually is
a Texas
weird.
You guys
are on here.
It is a weird thing.
Please, go ahead.
What is his fascination with
roadkill?
With roadkill. I mean, it's weird.
It is. I mean, the whale carcass and so forth. He's not killing animals.
The
bear as well. But a dead bear in Central Park. It's always an animal that he wants to study. You know, people say serial
that he put
killers
in the trunk and drove to Central Park.
That's right. People say serial killers, abuse animals.
We're not calling him a serial killer.
No, he's not, because these are already dead animals that he just wants to study forensically.
Right.
So he's a guy with some curious interests. He's about to give serious testimony about HHS, and he's having to field questions.
But he's the one that wrote it in his journal.
Well, Isabel Vincent covered it. He wrote about it in his journal, and she put it in the biography.
It's like, okay, what I did today, cut off a dead raccoon's penis.
And we say it's long ago. This is when he had kids who were in the car with him. This is not when he was a young boy. This is when he was an adult interested in looking at raccoon penises.
I also think part of the reason he laughed and only laughed, I think he wanted to say something, but he knows what he's walking into. And he's not going to go down that road.
He's walking into a buzzsaw, and he's just thinking.
I got to focus on what's going to happen.
The question is fair, though. What are the whereabouts? Where's the penis? Like, maybe you keep it in a formaldehyde jar and things like that if you're interested in studying it.
We're not
It's actually a legit question.
Totally legit question.
It is.
Or what did you learn from the
To your point, maybe it will come up in Congress. We're not obviously watching it right now.
Wouldn't be the craziest thing. I think they brought up the bear.
I
believe they brought up the bear at one point. So what's the difference?
You might prefer to answer these questions over Baja questions.
Raccoon, especially the penis.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Leah Knauer. I'm a comedian in Los Angeles, and I don't know.
Then you're perfect for this.
I think it's nice to see that RFK Jr. is supporting gender-affirming care.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I think I speak for many people when I say that I'd like to not hear any more stories from him. RFK has killed so many things: a bear, a raccoon, and Cheryl Hines' career.
That's not fair.
He killed none of them. Let's be fair.
Yeah, he killed none of them. He did not kill the bear or the raccoon.
Yeah, and Larry David killed
No, could you stop?
He killed Gerb.
Coming up, some big changes coming to the life of Clavicular because he suffered an apparent overdose.
And was carried out from where he was,
Taken to the hospital.
put on oxygen, and then he got really emotional when he got discharged about changing his life.
Be right back.
Some big changes coming to the life of Clavicular. He is the extremely popular streamer we've been telling you about, especially this week because he suffered an apparent overdose from, we're not sure what. He was streaming at the time when he drank something and then
pretty
shortly
much fell
thereafter
into unconsciousness and was carried out from where he was,
taken to the hospital,
put on oxygen, and then he got really emotional when he got discharged about changing his life.
Right, said that he was going to be stepping away from, wouldn't be streaming as much. And
He said he's going to stop and he's going to have to find a whole new form of communicating.
Right.
And that he was going to stop using any substances for a while and possibly forever.
So, cut to Wednesday night in Miami, and guess who's in the club? Clavicular and Blueface. He was hanging out with the rapper up on stage. Seemed to be having a good time. I can't say whether or not he was drinking or having any other substances, but
I don't think he drinks.
yeah, he doesn't drink, but as to whether or not he had consumed any other substances, I don't know, but he seemed to be okay.
And he went to a club. Apparently he had that, this was an engagement that he had been booked at.
A paid engagement?
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
So
Yeah, they have been, this club is called Baccara. It's actually like a live streaming club. So they're live streaming at their club. So of course, Clavicular was one of the main people they wanted to appear there. But a lot of people around Clav felt that he should not attend this appearance at all. We're told that a lot of people around him were very worried, felt like he should rest, but we're told that Clav was determined to go to this club appearance. Obviously, he did in the end. But one small win for people around him that have been very concerned. If you guys remember the night that he had the suspected overdose, there was a guy that was in the live stream with him that had offered Clav Adderall to try to perk him up a little bit because
Right,
he was
nodding
dozing off. Yeah, exactly.
because
So
it's an upper.
we're told people around him wanted him gone and said this is not a good influence on you, Clav, and expressing their concerns. And we're told that Clav's security removed this guy from Clav's house, and Clav's team gave this guy a one-way plane ticket back to his native Australia.
It actually raises kind of a much bigger issue, which is he is incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things now where influencers, they have to keep doing more to stay relevant, because if you keep doing the same thing, it gets old.
But I guess the
and
challenge,
more and more and more,
the challenge
can get
for
dangerous.
him is what he is popular for is doing this, is streaming his life. And if he's not going to do that, and I know he said he's going to find some different forum, but will all of his army of fans on streaming, will they follow him to whatever else he's going to go do?
And what does he have to do to keep them? And
Right.
It's not going to be, watching a movie at home.
No.
Well, no, but I'm actually
No, I know.
serious. And then what does it become? And so I think, it's just one of the treacherous parts of the life of
Being an
influencer.
influencer, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Houston, Texas, and I'm going to be honest with you. It seems like there is an issue, there's a root cause issue that we're overlooking. A lot of the times when these celebrities or streamers have to suppress with drugs or whatever else, there's a deeper issue at bay. And I would definitely say that needs to be, he needs to kind of take a step back and figure out what exactly is the issue. To continuously having to suppress with drugs and being around other celebrities that are in the limelight for the wrong reasons, I definitely feel like that's something that he needs to reassess.
Yeah. I think what's interesting about the substances he was taking, a lot of them were for the thing that he became famous, looks maxing.
Yeah.
Right? He was taking them to help enhance his metabolism, his body in general. So if he takes that away, if he's not looks maxing, again, what are his fans there for? Well, a horrific scene this morning in Virginia where police discovered that the former lieutenant governor, Justin Fairfax, was involved in and was the person who pulled the trigger in a murder-suicide where he killed his wife and then killed himself. And all of this while their kids were in the house. In fact, their kids are the ones who made the first call to police. And from what they have discovered, it seems like a lot of this is attached to their divorce, that she had filed for divorce and
She had asked for child support, said that he was behind in child support.
right, that he wasn't paying at all. But just a horrific scene that police are still there at this moment and conducting their investigation, trying to figure out everything that led up to this. But certainly it seems the divorce is central.
It was an interesting situation they had. Apparently they were still both living in the house, but she had accused him of not paying any of the household's costs, not supporting the children's education any longer. And she had gone to the court over and over again to try to get the financial relief that she said she needed to make ends meet, and that it ends in this tragic way.
You know, it's interesting that a lot of time they don't necessarily want to live together, but financially you're kind of forced to.
Yeah.
And you may be with somebody that it's just
And when-
toxic and wrong, but these are the circumstances
end up
where
in the
they
same
had
house.
nowhere
Right.
to go.
Especially when you have two young children at home.
Right.
You're always trying to do what's in the best interest of the kids. Does that mean staying together under one roof? These are very
Well,
hard
and
decisions.
that
and there's
becomes
no right.
more of a choice. I'm
Right.
talking just financially.
Yeah, that
maybe
could be as well.
necessity.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. I mean, this happens, you know, in various forms all over the country. And, you know, a lot of it is what you said, where they think, oh, maybe it's best for the kids. Usually not.
Yeah.
And especially when you know that it's going to become very contentious, where there are allegations being made that one person is going to be very upset by those allegations, and just a tragedy this morning.
Hi, my name's Mia from Boston, and this is such a tragic, terrible event that's happened. My heart goes out to the families, and my heart goes out to the children, and I'm sending prayers. And the statistics tell us that divorce is the most dangerous time in a woman's life, especially when there's children involved. And unfortunately, situations like this just reaffirm those statistics. And it's incredibly sad. And I feel so bad for the children to have to make that heartbreaking call about their family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. The kids are now with other family members, so you think about what they have to go through now.
Yeah.
And the trauma that they're trying.
It's kind of a lifelong trauma.
Yeah.
Coming up.
We got a lot to unpack in the Alix Earle, Alex Cooper war that continues.
This is a war?
It is, and you know how it is? You know it's a war because
Chickenfry is involved.
Exactly, and once you get Chickenfry involved, you know this means war.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. We got a lot to unpack in the Alix Earle, Alex Cooper war that continues.
This is a war?
It is, and you know how it is? You know it's a war because
Chickenfry is involved.
Exactly, and once you get Chickenfry involved, you know this means war. Brianna Chickenfry is the latest member of their universe to pick a side, and it is very clear she is team Alix Earle, not Alex Cooper. And now Alex Cooper and Brianna were both under the Barstool umbrella, and I guess that's when they encountered each other.
But the question is, how much do they encounter each other?
Right.
And
So
were they able to form the judgments that Brianna Chickenfry formed?
She has a very strong judgment. We're going to get to it in a second, but here's what Alex Cooper had to say about Brianna. She said, Brianna, you coming online saying I'm a mean girl, that I'm going to get destroyed, and people's comments saying I hate Alex Cooper. So speaking of mean girls, I have never met you in my life, and you hate me? Wow. Please go back and read the DMs. That has never been the nature of our relationship.
So she's saying
somebody.
She's saying basically you don't even know me and you're making these judgments. Here's what Brianna Chickenfry said.
I work at Barstool, so Dave introduced me to Alex Cooper. I was a fan of Alex Cooper before I knew the wrath of Alex Cooper and what she does to people and how she treats people. I'm friends with Alix Earle. Alix Earle told me everything that transpired between those two 2 years ago at the Super Bowl. She told me everything. It didn't happen between them at the Super Bowl, but that's when she told me everything. You can go time check me, you can go stamp check me. I've said this on BFFs a million times. It's not my story to tell, so I didn't tell it. From what Alix Earle told me, Alex Cooper is a very, very mean person. Or maybe when Dave called me, when Alex signed Grace to Unwell, and she called Dave and said, I don't give a about Grace, I don't about Brianna, all I care about is making money. Yeah, maybe my narrative switched on you after I found things out about you.
So I think what she's saying, help me out here, is it's not so much that I encountered you, it's what I heard.
It's everything I heard about you from other people.
And like, by the way, Alex Cooper did have to come back on and be like, okay, actually we did meet once. So Alex Cooper already.
But Brianna Chickenfry is not saying it's based on the two of them interacting.
Exactly.
It's what she's heard.
In fact, and I mean, I guess they're kind of saying the same thing because Brianna's saying when we did meet each other, you seemed nice.
Right.
Exactly, and I'm so glad that Brianna Chickenfry is in this because I feel like maybe we can finally get some answers.
Team Earl?
I'm definitely Team Earl, but I think that since Brianna does know exactly what happened according to what Alex told her at the Super Bowl, now we just need Brianna to tell Dave Portnoy so he can tell us all, and then we will all know exactly what happened.
Do you know why this is like politics? It's like politics because, you know, there's no like middle ground of anything, and maybe, yeah, I don't like you, but you know, whatever. It's you're either an angel or a devil. And there's nothing in between.
No. It's also like politics.
It's kind
of
also like
politics in that nothing's going to happen. Nothing's actually going to change.
Well, what's going to happen is people are talking about all of them, and that's a win for all of them.
Hi, Tori from Dallas here. I think Alex Cooper is being totally so calculated. She's posting old DMs on her story when she could be just going on her podcast and telling her truth. I'm definitely Team Alix Earle. I think she's being smart, and when the time is right, she's going to go full Elle Woods and lay it all out there for us.
Okay, hold on. If we're going full Elle Woods, would Alex Cooper have Brianna and or Alix Earle on her podcast?
That is a very good question. I would hope so. I think that like they should just hash it out. I mean, at this point, get a mediator in. Like, get someone else in to like
Dave Portnoy. Yeah, put Dave right in the middle.
Do it right at the beach.
Yes, exactly.
Coming up.
So we are just all over Washington, D.C. with TMZ DC. Oh, look at that. Jacob's with Tim Burchett right now.
Guess what? It was like, we're praying for people because TMZ's in town.
You've been there 3.5 days. How's it been?
I mean, where do I start? It's like I walk into a cafeteria and
why don't you start there?
oh my gosh.
Be right back.
So we are just all over Washington, D.C. with TMZ DC. Our guys, Charlie, Jacob, and Jackson, they are just, I think, doing a great job.
Kind of everywhere, from the National Mall to the halls of Congress, even elevators.
Even elevators. So Jacob got Congresswoman Lauren Boebert out. And talk to her about something that's really interesting that has gone on. Dave Chappelle is angry at her for, as he puts it, weaponizing his jokes about transgender community.
Right. He was complaining that she had, when he was on the Hill last year, he took a photo, a selfie with her, and he said in mere minutes, she had weaponized his jokes for his post.
Oh, look at that. Jacob's with Tim Burchett right now. That's live.
Hey.
We're in the wild right now.
Hey, what's going on, Jacob? And I see you got Congressman Burchett with you. What's up, Tim?
Yes.
And Luna.
And Representative Luna.
Hey, both you guys are on TMZ today. Jackson did an interview with you, Congresswoman Luna, and Charlie, I believe, did an interview with you.
Charlie got Tim.
Cool. Well, we're happy you guys are here. I know a lot of people are not happy you're here.
Why aren't they happy?
Actually, Congresswoman,
why aren't they happy?
Let's dig into that. Why aren't they happy, Congresswoman?
You know, go ahead.
You go first.
I was just going to say, the reason y'all got me on here because sex sells. Love you guys. You guys are the best, man.
You guys are kind of like the cockroach exterminators here. So, you know, you guys asking the questions, they don't like it.
And I'm in my bipartisan prayer group this morning, and guess what? It was like, We're praying for people because TMZ's in town. No kidding.
No,
Isn't that great?
no, they didn't. They did not mention us in the prayer, Tim, please.
And the Lord's going to convict you guys.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, no, you guys are gonna, I think, be the results of other people probably resigning. So stay as long as you can. We want to take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Jackson had a really interesting talk with you, which is up on YouTube right now. Congressman, you are on all of our social media talking about what we did earlier today about Epstein and UFOs and whatnot. So thank you guys very much. We so appreciate you talking to us. Okay,
Thanks.
we're going to get into
it.
By the way, hey guys, before you leave, hold on, before you guys leave.
Luna, hang on. Luna, come back here.
Can I tell you something? We are about to show a clip. Jacob Wasserman, the guy standing next to you, he's getting in an elevator, and all he's doing is complaining about the heat.
By the way, he's in the middle of a conversation with Congresswoman Boebert,
and just complaining about the heat. You got to tell this guy that he's just got to tough it up because it's nothing but complaints we're getting from this guy.
No. All right. What do you guys think about the air conditioning situation in these buildings?
Hey, man, these Yankees keep it cold in the wintertime. That's why I wear my dadgum Carhartt, man.
We're from Florida, so I have no complaints here.
Okay, here's Jacob and the Congresswoman.
Dave Chappelle. He does not like it when Republicans such as yourself uses transgender jokes as a weapon. And he specifically referenced...
I used his joke, though. I think transgenderism is a joke.
Well...
I mean, to say that children can be mutilated and castrated, I mean, it's beyond a joke. It's disgusting. There are two genders. I was just being factual.
But I know that's your stance on kind of the transgender.
That's a fact. It's not a stance. Well, that is proven by biology.
But I don't think Chappelle liked being used as a prop, is what he's saying. It's like when you.
I mean, come on, you're a comedian. Be a little tougher, right?
Thank you for letting me take this ride. I feel like very legit right now. I would think that there would be some like air conditioning in like a government building like this, right?
Well, I think you are thinking too highly of your government.
I mean, like, this just seems like a basic necessity. Like, it's incredibly hot outside right now. We've waited like 20 minutes for an elevator. Now I'm like dripping with sweat right now as I'm crumpled in this room.
I mean, then you'll be dripping with sweat.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like, what do we pay for here?
What state are you from?
I'm from California, but I was coming from New York. Oh my gosh, it's like every floor. We got to streamline the elevator process in DC. I'm 2 days in. I moved here on Sunday, and like I did not understand how hot it is here, and if it is going to be so hot, it needs to be like Miami, where we have AC blowing through every building.
This is only April, sweetheart. Wait till August.
Oh my gosh.
Are we going to the basement? We're going to the basement, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else first? It's going to get worse.
We are hopping out.
All right, I'm hopping out, please. Ladies first.
Oh my God. Complain.
Jacob, come on. Hold on. Let's get to his complaints in a moment. What she said about the Chappelle issue.
Right.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I kind of agree with Lauren Boebert in that toughen up. You know, like comedians love to say that. They say, look, yeah, we tell jokes, right? And people should understand that that's what we're doing and have a thicker skin. So maybe Dave Chappelle needs to have a thicker skin. I get her point. I don't agree with what she said about transgender, about the transgender community. What I agree with is that the point of Dave Chappelle being so mad at her.
He got triggered by her.
Yes, he was certainly triggered by her.
Okay, so so we said Jacob, Charlie, and Jackson are in D.C. right now. Jacob is the one in the elevator who is complaining about air conditioning, complaining about, by the way, you didn't hear it, the bathroom situation to the Congresswoman.
So much so that the poor Congresswoman is like, I guess you can use my bathroom if you need to. Like,
Jacob,
come on, man.
Toughen up, man.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
I didn't say there was a lie, but it's not like you're in battle right now. You know, it's like, dude, there are a lot of people in D.C.
it's like easy for you to say in like your well air-conditioned studio. It's like I'm putting 25,000 steps in every day in the blistering heat, running from the Senate to the House. Capitol's right behind me right now. It's like I'm running like a marathon, basically.
Let me point this out. Jacob, most of the people walking past you, we can see what you're wearing. Most of the people walking around you are in full suits. I haven't heard one person walk by and go, oh, heat. Not a single person.
But you.
Because there's some decorum in politics, and I'm here to kind of shake it up.
Okay, so seriously, you've been there 3.5 days. How's it been?
I mean, where do I start? It's like I walk into a cafeteria and
Why don't you start there?
oh my gosh, mean people, people.
Wow.
I guess that's how it's been. It's like, what? It's like, what?
Okay.
Like, could you imagine just like walking and it's like you see someone, he's like just talking to someone, how their day is going, go, wow, you shut. It's like, what?
Okay.
Should we get to
This country needs healing. This country needs healing.
How's it been?
It's great. I mean, aside from that interaction, it's like I go into the cafeteria and people are like, thank you for your service. Like, it's kind of been incredible in that way. And people are honestly extremely nice. It's like I know like Democrats might not like Republicans and vice versa, but it's like when you sit down with these people and kind of get to know them, I mean, no surprise. It's like they're just like anyone else. And it's actually been a really good experience.
Okay. Okay, go back to work. Thank you. You can get you know those hand fans that you can hold?
Yeah, get yourself a little fan.
What, so you can like chastise me about that too? It's what do you want?
We figured since that woman wasn't a fan, maybe you could get your own.
Oh my gosh. It's like, what is up with people?
That was awesome.
This country needs healing, you know? It's like, come on.
Okay, we got to get to something else. So we got Ted Cruz out because Prince Harry said today that Meghan Markle was the most trolled person in the world. Ted Cruz begs to differ.
Meghan Markle just said she's the most trolled person in the world and has been for the last 10 years.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't really have strong views on her. I thought she was good in Suits. I enjoyed her in that series.
Oh, you like Suits?
Oh, Suits was awesome.
So who is the most trolled person in the world then, if it's not Meghan Markle?
Oh, I'd probably say Donald Trump.
Right? Could be. Do you think any of the trolling's fair or it's all just unfair?
Oh, most trolling in life. Some is fair and some is unfair.
Right.
Oh, so Charlie actually had a nice talk with him. We talked about, you can check it out on the website. We talked about his favorite political movie from DC.
Yes, which one is most accurate?
It was interesting. So again, day 4 in Washington,
I know,
D.C.
Jacob's math is also not very good. He's telling people, oh, it's my second day here. I'm like, dude, you've been there 4 days.
Now he likes to he complains.
Coming up.
Bryan Cranston and Frankie Muniz are back together, doing a little promo tour for the reboot of Malcolm in the Middle. But they were talking about their careers. Bryan turned this into a little jab at Shia LaBeouf.
You could have ended up with Shia LaBeouf's life.
I'm just saying.
Be right back.
Bryan Cranston and Frankie Muniz are back together, doing a little promo tour for the reboot of Malcolm in the Middle. And so they sat down with Esquire. They were having a little conversation, of course, to promote the show. Right. But they were talking about their careers. And Frankie reveals something about a role that he didn't get, that he actually got the role and then turned it down because he got a different offer. Bryan turned this into a little jab at Shia LaBeouf. How does Shia LaBeouf enter this? Well, we'll let them explain.
I was signed to be in the movie Holes, but then Cody Banks was greenlit. They were like, which one do you want to do? And that one, I immediately picked Agent Cody Banks, but I remember everybody like kind of really pushing me to do Holes just because of the story, and it's a little more dramatic, and you know, Shia LaBeouf ended up doing it, which I think kind of really catapulted his movie career. So that's one that quickly comes to mind that I go like, I wonder what my career or my life would have been, like what could have come from it, or would I have been taken more seriously as an actor?
You could have ended up with Shia LaBeouf's life.
I'm just saying. I can't think of.
Keep that one in. Shia, get some help.
Wow.
Brian's, first of all, his comedic timing, but I actually think he meant it at the end when he said,
seemed
he totally meant it.
It seems so unnecessary, and I looked it up. They've never worked together, Brian and Shia.
I think he's just seen what's going on.
Right.
And he kind of first did it as a joke, and then he realized what he had done, and he looked and he says, "No, seriously, go get some help."
But they're just having like a sliding doors
no Jacob
moment.
No, he's no.
There's no Jacob, but he's great.
Coming up.
The investigation into Tiger Woods' DUI, his latest DUI in Florida, is hitting a bit of a roadblock. At least Tiger is trying to block what investigators want, which is a detailed list of his medications because they feel it is extremely relevant to what happened when he rolled over his car.
Be right back.
Well, the investigation into Tiger Woods' DUI, his latest DUI in Florida, is hitting a bit of a roadblock. At least Tiger is trying to block what investigators want, which is a detailed list of his medications because they feel it is extremely relevant to what happened when he rolled over his car. Remember, he refused to do a urine test. So they had no record. In fact, the sheriff admitted that day, we're not going to know what was in his system.
But here's what's going on. Tiger admitted to the cops that he had taken prescription meds earlier in the day. So the reason they want these meds is they want to show how powerful they are and that he could be still out of it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, even if he took them in the morning. So that's why they want it. He's fighting the subpoena because he's saying you can't jump to that conclusion and you don't know which of the drugs I took.
Well, hold on. Isn't part of it also that he did tell them some of the drugs?
He did.
Because you heard it on the...
They redacted it, so we don't know, but the police do.
And I think they want to check to make sure those are the drugs.
Right.
Well, but at the very least, there are other drugs. They want to show all of them. I mean, he may, look, I mean, I'm giving you an example. Maybe there was Ambien, but he didn't mention Ambien.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he would have taken Ambien in the morning, but I don't know what it is, but they want to get a full list.
He listed at least 4 Harv in that moment. And also remember, he had the powerful painkiller in his pocket, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. So they are requesting these records. They have subpoenaed them, in fact, the DA has, for the last couple of months. So they want to know not just that day what he was taking, but what he's been taking. Tiger is fighting it.
And the reason for that is that you could have extra pills.
Exactly. Tiger's
not
fighting
giving it up.
and they've got a contingency plan too. If they are not successful in fighting the subpoena, they are going to ask for an order of protection, which would essentially bar that information from being released publicly. You know he's a very private guy, and he does not want that information known to the public.
And maybe they would grant that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amaya J from Los Angeles, and I think there is a balance to this whole situation. There is a level of accountability that has to be taken, but when it comes to private medical records, I believe that they should remain private, even if you are a public figure.
Yeah, I mean, they may compromise and say you got to release it, but they will be sealed. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Brittany Lima from New Jersey on RFK Jr. I think RFK Jr. cutting off a penis off a dead raccoon is a sentence that you would quite literally find in a How to Be a Serial Killer playbook. And while it's not surprising that a man who would jump willingly into a pool with jeans on and looks like a dried mango would do this, it is quite shocking when you remember he is the U.S. Secretary of Health.
But not a serial killer.
But not.
I mean, that's the upside.
But not a serial killer.
Okay, one more.
Look, I don't agree with Alex Cooper on everything, but I do think what she's doing here and her ability to make noise in a very noisy environment is exactly right. She's basically just saying, don't talk about it, be about it. Now, the one thing I will say, though, is Dave Portnoy does need to keep out of women's business because he's definitely stirring the pot.
Oh, I love Dave Portnoy.
He's stirring the pot, but also remember, he's at the center of this. I mean, he put them on.
And he can sit on the beach in his chair with Miss Peaches and just enjoy life and stir that pot.
Good for him.
Coming up.
A very strange Kevin Hart sighting in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, that is. There's a wax figure of Kevin Hart that looks nothing like Kevin Hart. So what does Kevin Hart think about it?
You just pissed me off. You're trying to piss me off.
Be right back.
A very strange Kevin Hart sighting in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, that is, home of Dollywood, but this is outside of Dollywood. But there is a wax figure of Kevin Hart that looks nothing like Kevin Hart. So what does Kevin Hart think about it? I think you can figure out how he feels.
So you have this wax figure. I mean, it's kind of doesn't look too much like you.
You just pissed me off. You're trying to piss me off.
Are you gonna have them?
You're trying to piss me off.
Are you gonna have them redo the wax figure?
I don't know. No disrespect to the artist at hand, but clearly he didn't see. He didn't see me.
Really,
no, he didn't see me. There's no way that they gave him a picture of me. That's freehand.
That's freehand.
Well, I agree. It looks nothing
Oh,
like Kevin Hart.
really? Is that what you're going to say? Listen, we have another show of record. You have been recorded saying, I think it looks like him.
Vaguely, I said. Vaguely.
Vaguely?
Vaguely. And
Really?
I had a supporter in the room.
No, you didn't. Nope. And if you did, we've removed that person from the room.
We'll see you tomorrow.